Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. This is episode number 75, and if you don't already know, we are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, so don't forget to click on the subscribe and follow button. Now, in the studios today, we have a good show today because we have an Italian chef for the very first time on our show, and he came to our shores way back in 1996, and he was a chef in places, I'm sure you know these places, Pasta Fresca, Di Paolo, and the Garibaldi group as well. Now in 2016, he decided, why not do something different, right? And Cucina was born, and I'm sure some of you will know, and most of you will know Cucina. That is the first authentic Italian halal restaurant here in Singapore. And my guest is the part owner and chef at Kucina. Now, he has had 30 years of experience in Italian cuisine and in the F&B industry as well. Let's not waste any more time. Welcome to the Silverfox Hustle podcast, Chef Gero Dimaria, Mohammed, Omar.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
You've been busy?
Very busy.
I hear that the restaurant doesn't close.
The restaurant doesn't close 7 days a week.
Yeah?
Yes.
And
every day.
you've been busy?
Yes. Actually, this month has been absolutely fantastic.
I've been watching some clips and stuff like that, and you've been busy with the NDP, right?
Yes, yes.
And what do you do during the NDP? Is it a catering kind of thing?
Yes. So we sponsor NDP for the
Right.
past 3 years. So I started in 2020. So 3 years now. So when we first started, of course, COVID started.
Right.
So we were supposed to do buffets. In the end, we started doing all bento boxes.
Right.
So I was primarily to be taking care of the VIPs, the ministers.
Yeah.
So I did all the bento boxes for actual National Day itself.
Yeah.
So we started at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Giving breakfast out. So 200 bento boxes. And then all the way through to, we did a total of 800 bento boxes in one day.
This year was different? Was it still bento?
This year, no. This year is
The real
buffet
thing.
is allowed.
So it was big, right? It was massive, wasn't it?
Yes. This year was much better. First time I went to NDP itself. Because
okay.
of course they gave me tickets.
Yes. So how was it?
It was really nice.
Nice?
It was really touching this year. I
Yeah?
really enjoyed it. It's my
Why?
first time doing NDP, but then being there, even though I'm not Singaporean, but I've been here now for so long that I do feel a part of it. So it's a bit of being patriotic, you know, even though I'm not born here, but through the business and all of my staff, you know, I interact with so many Singaporeans every day. So it's nice.
Beautiful. You know, that's a great sec. You know, we talk about Singapore and not where you were born in.
Right,
Let's talk about Italy.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Which part of Italy were you or are you from?
Okay, the family is from Sicily.
Okay.
So we are from Sicily. So right in the center of Sicily, about 2 hours from Palermo.
Yeah.
But I was born in UK, London. But I
right.
used to spend all my summers in Italy.
I see. So you were born in the UK?
Yes.
And then, but you're Italian?
Yes.
Right. So when you went back to Italy, right?
Yeah.
How was it like? And a family and stuff like that? Is it a big family?
Big family, naturally,
Right.
big family. So lots of cousins, aunties and uncles.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Some of them are now in the north. I do have some in Turin,
Okay.
in other parts, but mostly all in Sicily. But it's very different. Sicily is very laid back. It's a total
Okay.
different life skill. Sorry, not life skill. It's a total different lifestyle
Right.
in Sicily, in Europe, than it is to Singapore. It's much slower pace.
Yeah.
We even have siestas in the afternoon.
I
in
love
Singapore, you can have a
we
siesta.
We can't.
We are non-stop, 100 mile an hour, always,
Right.
every single day. So that's the difference. So Singapore lifestyle is very fast.
Right.
Since I've been living here, I've noticed it's non-stop. You know, even for the children from when they are young, you start 6 o'clock in the morning, get up for school, and the rest of it. For us, we don't go to school until 9 o'clock. We wake up much later. So it's very different. The lifestyle here is, you know, you start very early in the morning and then all the way, you know, through the day. So it's a very different life.
So you guys start school at 9 o'clock. That is
Yes.
that is wonderful,
Yes.
man. I mean,
It's totally different.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and because of school, the adults have got to rush as well.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do that every day, right?
Same as me. I'm doing the same thing
It's like
now.
crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
It's like a race in the morning. to
That's
beat the
right.
traffic,
That's
to get
correct.
there on time,
That's
to
right.
get them prepared,
Yes.
and all that jazz, right?
So that's how I feel like from when you are born in Singapore, when you start school,
Yeah.
you don't stop. For the rest of
You're
your life,
right.
it's like
You're right.
always continue. You're always going for the next thing.
Yeah.
Then you're going to work, and then you want to go up the ladder, and
Right.
you're always chasing something.
Right. So what is Sicily known for? Food, obviously, right?
Yes.
Oh, besides that.
Specifically seafood,
Ah,
very much.
beautiful.
Different culture, arts,
Okay.
very different. Not only food, obviously, the wines that they have there, and masala, which is named after the town.
Yeah.
Palermo, of course, has so much different cuisine that you don't even see in other parts of Italy.
Okay.
So they have different things like they use a lot of offal, in the food.
Okay.
So tongue, the
Right.
stomach lining, all of these things are things
I
that
see.
in other parts of Italy you don't get.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very different.
Chef Gero, we can't talk about Italy without talking about football.
Yes.
Because I'm a footballing person. I'm a
Yes.
football person, right? How
Same.
about football?
For me-
do you love football?
Yes,
Ah, brilliant.
since young.
Yeah? So,
Yes.
which is your favorite?
I always follow Juventus.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So
Turin, yeah?
Turin.
Yeah.
Yes. Always since I was young.
Beautiful. Do you play?
I played.
Yeah?
I played. Yes, I did
Nice.
play. I did play quite a lot.
Yeah? In
I
school?
Okay, my school, it was a very English boys' school, so it was rugby,
Ah.
rugby or cricket.
Are you talking about in school in UK? Or
Yes, in
okay,
UK.
right,
in
right.
UK,
right.
yes. So it was very rugby is very English.
Okay.
So football, I was only in my free time,
Ah.
but I was quite good at it. I
Okay.
was even going up to county level.
Wow, beautiful,
And
man.
then I stopped. I started to work, and
Yeah.
I didn't have time for football.
Which part of UK, by the way?
London,
Ah, great.
so nearer to Chelsea.
So
So my British club is Chelsea.
damn, a rival here. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way.
Okay, well, still London.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, of course. Keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Now, personally, right? I hear your grandma had a heavy influence
Yes.
on on your cooking
Yes.
and stuff like that. Now, how so?
Because even though we were living in England,
Yeah.
my grandparents lived with us while I was very young.
Ah, okay.
So that's where I learned to speak Italian because we spoke Italian in the household.
Okay.
So she would cook everything, and she was one teaching my mother at the
Mm.
same time. So we would order in tomatoes, for example, from Sicily.
Right.
And my father would make wine,
Okay.
in September.
Right.
They would do the harvest.
Right.
We would order grapes from Sicily.
Yeah.
My
So you'll do that in the UK?
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, my father used to make wine, so
Wow.
I've done all of that.
Yeah.
Then my grandmother Nonna used to do the tomato sauce.
Yeah.
So we used to have so much tomatoes, and then
Yeah.
boil it in big pots,
Okay.
and then bottle it, and then vacuum pack it, and then keep it in the garage. It will last all the way through winter, so we would never have to go and buy tomato sauce.
Brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So that and fresh pasta.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of instilled in me.
Chef Gero, we talk about Italy as well, and the language, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because you're here,
Right.
but I gotta say this:
Mhm.
the Italian language
Yeah.
is one of the most sexiest thing to when you hear it, when you
Yeah,
listen to someone speak, it's
Right.
beautiful, man. Do you think so?
It's a nice language. Difficult to learn
Ah.
due to the verbs. And
Yes,
that we have
yes.
female and male, so it
Ah.
has to be very articulate.
Right.
They always say the French is also very sexy, that. But Italian, yes, I would kind of agree with you.
Yeah. and culture-wise, right? Do you? I mean, I only watch and read and about Italians and
Yes.
stuff. And when I watch football, obviously,
Right,
right?
of course,
They are
yes.
so full of expression.
And passion.
Yeah, and passion. That's the culture, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes. We are very passionate about anything that we do.
Okay.
Whether it's football, food,
Yeah.
style, whereas, we have the cars, we have
Right.
the fashion.
Right.
So in Italy, anything you do, it's all the way out,
Mm.
or nothing. You don't do half.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah.
You got to go in and do it the whole
All
way,
the way,
right? All the way,
hog.
right?
Yeah, there's no way doing things half.
Yeah.
That's why when we express ourselves in food,
Mm.
it has to be done perfectly.
Yeah.
It has to be on point, because when Italian wants to eat, he wants his pasta perfect that way.
Perfect.
There's no substandard.
Mm.
So that was instilled in me from very young,
Yeah.
and so I've lived that throughout my life.
We're going to talk about that part as well, right?
Okay.
The
Yes.
standards.
Yes.
Because then it becomes you become a perfectionist of sorts
Yes,
when it comes to the
it does.
food part
Yeah,
as
you
well,
do,
and
you
everything
do.
you do,
You
right?
do, yeah. Yes.
Just one thing about the language part and the expressions part.
Yeah.
What is this, Chef Gero? What is this? You know, okay,
The
you know,
hand signal?
I know you watch. I'm sure you've watched Russell Peters and the
Yes.
comedy, is it?
Right.
And he used to joke, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This means WTF. You know what I mean, right? But
Yes.
what is this actually?
I don't know how to put it into words. It's when we express ourselves, we use a lot of hand language.
Yep.
So, we will see sometimes we do like this with the face and buono, where we do this on the cheek, means
Yeah.
very good when something is very tasty.
This is very good.
This is very good.
Ah.
Tasty, meaning when we are children,
Okay.
our mother or no say, come here, buono. So you say buono means good, meaning when you're eating something, buono. So we have all of these different hand signals. This one, how do I describe it? When you're angry with someone, you may do like this.
It's like an exclamation kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's the other one you did? What is this?
This also means like you don't care about someone. You brush them off.
Right.
You
right,
brush them
right.
off. Then you use the F word.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I love this. I'm going to use this a lot, man, nowadays. Brilliant. Nice. You see, I learn things. Now, you at that early age and, learning cooking from your grandma, obviously, and the influence and all, right? Just going back a bit.
Yep.
Did you ever think, growing up in UK, going back to Italy,
Yes.
at that young age, you would actually end up in Singapore
Right.
owning a halal restaurant
Right.
and doing all this? Did you ever think, like, okay, maybe a chef, maybe? Did you know?
Chef, not even. I didn't even think I would
Wow.
be good enough to be a chef. I used to question. I used to go to restaurants in the UK with
Okay.
my parents, for example. And I used to always think, how do they get all the food out? And to all the patrons, right? How do you do that in the kitchen? I always stumbled on it.
Yeah.
And I asked my mom, how do you think they get all that food out for everybody at the same time? It's something that I questioned. I was very young. I remember I was below 10 years old.
Yep.
Coming to Singapore, never in a million years.
Yeah.
Very, very far
it's
away.
Like far away, isn't
I
it?
didn't even know what Singapore was.
True. Yeah.
You only from Europe, you only think about Europe. Okay, America a bit. You think about the Far East, but only what comes in your mind is probably only China.
Yeah.
To think about Malaysia, Singapore,
Nice.
with the dot that it is, it was a million miles away. I would never have thought that I would end up in Singapore.
Okay, you say that you wouldn't think even as a chef, like you would be a chef, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so growing up, how did you get that foundation? But obviously with the grandma and all, but like proper qualification.
It was after school.
Yeah.
I'm not academically inclined.
Okay.
I was more on hands-on, same as my father and my brother also, same. We are all very hands-on. So I went to culinary school. I didn't know what else really to do.
In the UK?
In the UK.
Yeah.
So I did 2 years culinary school.
Okay.
And then I got my first job.
Right.
And I tell this to even my younger chefs nowadays. Your first job must be the one that really sets your bar.
Okay.
Get a first job really in a good kitchen to really set your standards high. Because after that, you can't go down. You would always only want to get better.
Yeah.
So set your standards high. So that's what I try to teach even the younger chefs coming in nowadays. Don't be subpar. Be the best that you can be. No matter what you do, be the best at it what you can be. And keep on striving for that. And eventually, you will get there.
So which is the first kitchen that you
My
worked in?
first restaurant I was in is in a hotel in England. But it was more of a restaurant with rooms more than it was just a hotel. It's that kind of... It was a huge restaurant, 200-seater.
Right.
I had a Scottish head chef.
Yeah.
Very fierce.
Yeah.
Very strict.
Yep.
All the other guys also, the sous chef, also very strict. And that's where it instilled in me the standards that I have even for today.
Right.
And I grew quite quickly within that kitchen. And so it gave me confidence that I could do it. Yeah.
So it helped that you had a very tough
Yes.
someone in the kitchen,
Yes.
right? And also obviously you have to have that wanting to learn, the
Yes,
hunger.
yeah.
You have to be hungry as well.
Correct. So even I was very young. I was only 17, 17, 18 years old when I got my first job. But the standards that my chef insisted that we have,
Yeah.
and there was no at that time, we would order in basically half a cow. So we would have to butcher the cow itself.
Okay.
So he taught me so many things in butchery and fishery as well, doing all the fish, and every day he would make me, freezing cold in the morning, it's -10 outside, he's stuck in the kitchen, doing breakfast shift in the morning.
Right.
You don't want to be in the kitchen, you don't want to be there, waking up early, but you just push on. You always push on and push on and push on. And it instills in you high standards.
Yeah.
And from there, you just go on.
So you obviously you did not only Italian cuisine, right?
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
all sorts of
All sorts, yeah.
and
So that restaurant was actually French. So I was doing a bit of French, English food,
Right.
and there was a little bit of Italian on the menu as well.
and obviously you grew, right? I mean,
Yes.
in terms of stature, and you learnt a lot as well. Do
Right.
you also think that there was a natural part of you that made you you talk about
Yes.
the Italian part of it
Yes.
and your grandma and stuff. Do you think that you had that natural instinct or, I don't know, skill or talent?
Yeah, looking back on it, I remember when I left the restaurant, the chef one day told me, he said, Gero, he said, you have it. But I didn't take it in as in I was that good. I just said, okay, I'm not bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe now I understand it more. Now I'm more mature and I understand where I am now. So he knew that I had something.
Do you still keep in contact with these people back from?
I don't.
Yeah?
It's been so many years. I did
Right.
try and contact, but no, I haven't found him.
No, what is the biggest lesson that you learnt throughout that early stages, obviously, right? And picking up skills. What is the biggest lesson that you've held till now? Obviously there are many, right? Many, right? But just that one maybe that you think, without that, you won't be here.
Discipline. Discipline. To really stick to it. We would have very, very long hours. We would work morning, like I told you, like we would go in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would not finish until 11 plus. And the chef would make us do other things after we had finished clean the kitchen. Okay, now we're going to make petit fours for tomorrow. Or the small little chocolates or the kind of things.
Okay.
I was like, damn, I'm already damn bloody tired already. You asked me to do all these things as well.
Yeah.
But again, it instills in you this determination, and you just every day just keep on going through it. It's a grind. It's a grind. Where nowadays the younger generation, I'm not sure whether they have that grind in them that they could do that of what we used to do.
Right.
I make myself like very old, but I don't feel that I'm that old. The generation has changed that far, that fast.
Listen, we are 20 minutes into the podcast, and this is exactly what this is all about. The hustle, the grind. And without that, you can have all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
You won't get wherever you are.
You need to work hard even if you may have a talent.
Yeah.
But like footballers, for example,
Exactly.
you have the talent, but if you don't drive forward and train every day, you're never going to get to the top.
Right. Let's fast forward a little bit. You talk about fast cars, right? Ferraris and all from Italy, right? 1996, right?
Yes.
This question, I'm sure people have asked you before. Why Singapore? Like how? Like out of
I know.
Thailand, China,
Right.
Whatever, wherever, right? Why?
I had family here.
Okay.
On my mother's side, my auntie and uncle lived in Singapore with my cousins.
They are Italians? As in
English.
English.
On my mother's side,
Okay.
English,
Okay.
yes. So I came here for a long holiday. I came here for 3 months. I resigned from my job in UK.
Okay.
So I'm tired of everything. I was like 20, 21, around
Right.
there.
So young to be tired of a lot of things.
Yeah, because like I said, I worked very hard.
Yeah.
So I decided to come here for a long holiday.
Yep.
For the 3 months.
Yep.
Liked it. First time I'd ever been to Asia, obviously. And then I just got my first job in pasta fresca.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the pass. And then at that time, I went back to the UK, waiting for the pass. And I went back to the same restaurant again, where I was from.
Yep.
Because the chef also called me back. And I said, I'm not sure how long I can work for because, I'm waiting for my pass in Singapore. And then, true enough, I was there for about 2 or 3 months, and then the pass came through, and I came back to Singapore. And then that's where it started.
Yeah.
1996, June, that's where it started. 3 years at, about 3.5 years at Pasta Fresca, Boki at that time, 24-hour restaurant.
Yes. Is it still there, by the way?
It's still there.
But it's not 24 hours.
No,
right?
no more.
Yeah.
I don't think so. By that time, it was busy.
No, it's great, man. Pasta fresca. I remember both key and
So many Italians. We were all
Yes.
there. Kitchen, we had two, me plus another guy, and the floor we had 3 or 4 Italians.
yeah. That and there's one more pasta fresca in town as well. The one at Lido.
Yes, I was in charge of that one
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
I went
yeah.
there. I was at Show House.
Yeah,
I went to
sh-
Siglap.
yeah.
I was in charge of a
It
few outlets.
just shows our age, man.
Yes, true.
Yeah, and yeah. So when you said first time, coming down to Singapore and stuff,
Yeah.
like how did you find it? Like the culture wise and stuff like that. Obviously English, no problems. Like I mean, you already speak the language, but
Yeah.
the way of living and stuff. Was it a culture shock?
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
Very different. Obviously, living in UK, you have your house and everything. In
Yeah.
Singapore, it's mostly all flats.
Mm.
So first time I was living in a flat. Of course, then I had to share with other people.
Right.
Different in culture, very different.
Yeah.
Of the way they speak.
Mm.
Even that's why my accent has changed over the years
Right.
due to multiracial, multicultural inside the kitchen. Malaysians would not be able to understand me sometimes if I were to speak proper English
Yeah.
and sentence it grammatically correctly. So I'd have to sometimes flip it the other way around.
Right.
And make it so that they could understand me.
Yeah.
So that's where my accent also started to change due to that. And then now it's over 20 years. So, my
What was the most difficult thing about Singapore when you first came in? Like trying to adapt. What was the most difficult thing?
food was very different.
Okay.
I wasn't used to a lot of the spices and a lot of the food.
Right.
Even though I did eat spicy a little bit,
Mm.
but in Singapore I was trying all these things, and then I tended to go towards Indian and Malay food. I
Why?
preferred. I just like those flavors.
The spices and
the
stuff?
spices
Yeah.
I prefer. And in UK, number one takeaway food is Indian.
Indian, right?
It's
Yeah,
number
yeah,
one. Every high street must have an Indian restaurant.
And it's very expensive as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
very, right?
It is, yeah. So that part, Chinese food, I'm not really that fond of. I'm not
Yeah.
really a soupy.
Even now?
But yes,
Yeah,
I'm not
okay,
really
okay.
like to
Interesting.
noodles and soup, that kind of thing. I'm not really.
Ah.
I don't really like steamed fish. I would prefer a grilled fish. That.
Okay,
I
understand.
So Chinese food is healthy. It is healthy. Yes, it's good for you. I think I prefer more flavor,
Okay,
more texture.
right.
That side of me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can understand. Great, man. Great. Now, obviously, you went through the ranks and Di Paolo and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So you found something missing?
After a while, yes. After I've been here for, I've been working. I was executive chef at that time at Garibaldi Group. 6 years. Di Paolo 4 or 5 years, and then obviously I met my wife.
Yep.
In that time, being Malay Muslim,
Mm.
so converted
Yeah.
naturally, and then of course I started to go. Oh, now we have to go to halal restaurants, right?
Right.
And then I think there's nothing to eat.
Right.
At that time,
Right.
before I opened the restaurant, there wasn't that many
Italian, you mean?
Italian and even other cuisines.
Mm.
Where would you go and eat a nice meal? You'd only have to go to a hotel. And at that time it was maybe a Carousel,
Yeah.
maybe Stress Kitchen, Hyatt.
Yeah.
That was all there was.
Yeah.
There weren't many restaurants doing good, not even Italian, good halal food,
Yes.
no matter what the cuisine was.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's very difficult to eat now. I need to really think where to go, where
Yeah.
to try. I'm not a buffet person, so
Okay.
I don't particularly like all those buffets because I know what goes on a buffet.
Tell me what goes into it. Okay.
It could be not the freshest of food sometimes.
Okay.
It can be, we know what can be thrown onto a buffet.
Wow.
Cannot go too deep into that.
Yeah, you heard this first on the Silverfox Hustle podcast. Yeah.
Obviously, they do put a lot of fresh food
Ah.
nowadays,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's certain things.
Not the best, lah, basically.
Not the best of quality,
Okay,
I would
okay.
say. And because I'm more on a quality person, I don't particularly
Yeah.
like buffets. At that time, there wasn't any halal Italian. There was nothing. So I found it very difficult to eat out.
Mm.
So a lot of times I'll be cooking at home.
Yeah.
And then I realized I think it's time to open a restaurant.
Yeah. Was it a difficult decision? Like
Yes. I didn't work for about a year. I stopped working at Ricciotti, I was the exec chef running 3 restaurants at that time. Stopped working there, and then started to do online business. I started to do halal tiramisu. online
Okay.
through Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, so I was doing
Just
that.
tiramisu.
Just tiramisu. I just wanted to do a good proper tiramisu halal, which at that time
Which is the same one you
I'm still doing it now.
selling on
I'm still
at
using the
Kuchina,
same
right?
recipe, everything.
Right.
That is one of my signature dishes.
Great.
So that's where I started, and then I got good feedback.
Yeah.
A lot of people were ordering.
Yep.
I was doing it from home, and then people were asking me, when you open a restaurant, when you gonna open a restaurant. In the back of my mind, I always questioned opening a restaurant because I knew two issues.
Okay.
Staff
Okay.
will be a major
Right.
issue, and of course raising the funds to open a restaurant. It's just not cheap.
I
You need a lot of money.
I actually wanted to ask you, right? Like, how the hell do you even start?
Yeah.
Like there's so many things going on in your mind.
Yeah, so it's really difficult, really difficult. It's not an easy
Yeah.
way to go to open. People think, oh, you have some money, go and invest in a restaurant. I would always question. It's
okay.
not a difficult line to go through.
Yeah.
Even in investment,
Right.
you need to know what you're doing.
Great.
Otherwise, you can fail quite quickly.
Right. And was this or was Cucina the biggest gamble you have taken in terms of that side of things? Maybe money or
Yes.
yeah, the
Yes.
biggest gamble.
It was. Okay, gamble in money-wise.
Yeah.
Yes, of course you're spending a lot. But I always knew that I would make it because the standards that I set myself, I go to other Italian restaurants. I've eaten. I know what the standard is.
Right.
I've been cooking in them for the last 20 years.
Right.
And lots of restaurants make it. But when I go and try their food, I know that I'm better. I know I have a higher standard than that restaurant, but that restaurant is making money.
Right.
So I always knew that I would make it. I never questioned that.
As long as you get that standards right.
Yes, and I knew that I would tell myself, if they can do it, why can't I?
Right.
Because I know that I'm better at certain things. I make fresh pasta and all the rest of it. Maybe they don't.
Right.
And those restaurants were all making money and all doing well. So I was like, if they can do it, why can't I? So when I set up Cucina, obviously with my partner, I knew that I wouldn't fail. I had that drive and I just knew that I wouldn't fail. I would kept on trying and going and going. I didn't do marketing for the first 2 years. Not only because I didn't want to do it, then there's funds. You can set funds on the side. You don't have that much. So you work 110%. You work 120% because it's your business. At the end of the day, it doesn't work, you die.
Exactly.
And all the investments is gone.
Right.
And what's the fullback? What are you going to back up? Nothing much.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, right? Like when you started off, was there like a backup plan if you had failed? And just judging from the way you've answered me before this, it's not an option.
Not an option.
It's not an option.
It's not an option to close.
Right.
That wasn't an option.
Right.
Never enter your head. Never enter my mind. So it's very tough. You don't have enough staff. Starting out the restaurant, super stressed. You want the standards to be there. You know, you need to make those first customers really want to come back, and the word of mouth is very powerful. So that's what I wanted to do with the marketing, using word of mouth because it's strong. I say Alhamdulillah, it worked.
And let's go back, or not go back, just go behind the scenes with Cucina, because I know it's hard work and stuff like that. Firstly, tell us why Cucina. It obviously I know what it is, but tell us
the name.
The name.
We were thinking of different names.
Okay.
Usually, Italian restaurant is always named after the chef, after the owner.
Okay.
So I was going to call it. Shall I call it Dimaria? Shall I call it Gero's Place? You know, that kind of thing.
It's cool, man. Gero's Place.
Cool. Then I was like, we need to have something else. What do I really want the roots of the kitchen of the restaurant to be? Which is the kitchen. Everything comes from the kitchen. So even my wife, she came up. You know, she thought, okay, you can use Cucina, but the word begins with letter C.
Yes.
In Italian, it's the letter C. It's Cucina. And I said, but then the Malay, they will say Cucina.
Right.
It will come out different.
Yes.
If Chinese were to say Malay, you know. So how to make it that everyone would pronounce it correctly. So he said, okay, let's put it with a K.
Yeah.
Because you would have to pronounce it as Kuchina.
Yeah. Right.
And then people will say, I'm Chinese, Kuchina, you know, in Malay. So there was a lot of
Yeah.
people were asking me, "Oh, why the name?" That kind of thing. So I said that is a reason behind it.
Right.
We wanted the heart of the. That's why we do open concept.
Yeah.
The kitchen is open, so everyone can see what we are
Yeah.
doing.
True.
So we're not hiding anything. You can see us cooking. You can
Yeah.
see us plating, and that also gives you interaction with the guests at the same time.
Nice.
So that's why Kuchina.
Now, you once said, "Don't ever do it for the money."
Right.
Explain yourself.
Okay. I don't think that money should be your driving force. Yes, you need money to run it, and of course it's a business, so you need to make some money. But it wasn't my driving force to open a restaurant because I want to make money. No, it's because I wanted to open an Italian halal restaurant for the Malay Muslim community.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was nowhere for me to eat,
Yeah.
so I know that there's nowhere for them to try real Italian food. Because my authenticity, I wanted it to be intact. There was no fusion, there was no
Yeah.
cutting corners.
Right.
It means that's the price because you're paying for the quality.
Yeah.
Even today, people ask why is the price like that?
Mm.
Because of the quality.
Right.
Because I have skilled chefs cooking,
Yeah.
and I want to showcase what is real Italian food.
Mm.
So that was my incentive to open the restaurant. It was money is secondary.
Secondary.
As long as you can pay your bills at the end of the month, you can pay your staff, it's okay. And you have a little bit, it's okay.
It's great that you talk about your staff, because it feels like the staff in Cucina, they're just like family. Do you think so?
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to. I
Yeah.
try and make it that everyone gets along, is happy with each other. Of course, you have your ups and downs, definitely.
Yeah.
Not easy managing the amount of staff that I have now. So
How many staff do you have now?
Now around 17, 18.
Okay.
Because I have the central kitchen as well, the catering
Yep.
division.
Yep.
The main restaurant needs to have more staff now as well. So naturally, everybody has their own issues, their own problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed that more in Asia as well.
Ah, is it?
People bring their problems more to work. That I was not used to that when I first came.
Okay.
Like this fella will come, oh my father's like this, papa like
Ah.
coming from Britain, you would not share that amount of information. Like you have big problems at home, they would not come across in that way. You will come and do your work and go home. Quite cold in that way, I would say.
Yeah.
So that one was very different as well. They come, they share all everything comes out. All the stories will come out.
But yeah, you're right. But you don't want to make that as an excuse.
Right.
As in when the staff comes in and then it becomes an excuse not
that's
to
right.
work properly.
Yes,
maybe.
correct.
You know.
So I say sorry, but everyone has problems. Everybody has issues. We always have family things, but you leave it at the door.
Right.
When you come to do your work, you come and do your work. As much as possible, I do counsel them. I talk to them. I try and help them out as much as possible.
Nice.
So that's how I run the restaurant.
Chef, let's talk a bit about the food, obviously, because we talk about Cucina. Let's talk about the food, and please school us on the basic Italian dishes at least, right?
Yeah.
And then please pardon my Italian because I don't know whether I'm getting this right. Right. Let's talk about the appetizers, which is called
Antipasti.
Antipasti. Right. So it's a must in Italian.
Yes.
So what do you serve for antipasti?
In our culture, we always have cold cuts,
Yeah.
bread, a little bit of salad, always on the table. That's like to start start to picking at it. You're picking at that. That's just like we just call it antipasto.
Okay.
You know. So you just pick at that first.
Yeah.
That's your starter, and then you go on to your first course, which is always pasta. Primo is pasta.
Okay.
That is people think that pasta is mains. No, for us, it's our first course.
Okay.
Our secondi is
Okay.
our
Right.
mains, meaning fish and
Secondi,
meat,
right,
all those
right.
things, right? So pasta is your first course. Antipasti is just like nibbles.
Okay.
You're just trying out a little bit of cheese, a little bit of bread, a little bit of coconut, some salad, fresh tomatoes, that kind of things. That's what we...
And there's something that you guys serve at Cucina, which is, I don't know, it could be antipasti, but you don't have that in the typical Italian restaurant, right? It's the bread basket.
Yes, we have the bread basket.
The pane?
Pane, yes.
Right? So you don't actually have that in the typical Italian...
Usually, in Italian restaurants, bread is free. You don't pay for bread.
Okay.
Especially in Italy. On the table, you will have one bun on your side plate. That is normal, and bread is always on the table.
Okay.
obviously, the costs involved in having that in Italy is so cheap because they make the bread, they can get it from the bakery. It's really that cheap. Singapore, different. Everything is imported.
Right.
We need, if we start to give free bread, then we may, even some restaurants, they will charge you on the bill. Oh, why is the, suddenly you find bread on the bill.
Yep.
Even if you haven't asked it, but it's there because it's chargeable, because they give you olive oil, they may give you this sauce, and they give you different types of bread. So that's why we put it on the menu as that. But it's actually one of the top selling items.
It is. I know because I eat that as well. It's beautiful when you do it with the olive oil, right?
I do it with olive oil. Now we do it with black olive tapenade, and then we have the spicy arrabbiata sauce. Then it's homemade bread as well. We do our own cucina bread and the breadsticks.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that. And your salad is called the insalata.
Insalata, yes.
Insalata.
Insalata just means salad.
It's just salad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we have the mixed salad. Now we have the burrata. The burrata is selling a lot.
Okay.
Very fast.
What is that? What is it?
The burrata is the mozzarella.
Okay.
Which is another type of mozzarella.
Okay.
So this is, they take the skin of the last part of the mozzarella, they envelop it, then in the middle, they put cream together with the last parts of the mozzarella. So you have little pieces. So when you break the burrata, it's like basically like a lava cake. It's like basically a chocolate lava cake, but it's mozzarella.
Nice.
So a lot of people now, they really enjoy that. Yeah.
A risotto.
Yes.
It's Italian rice, right?
Correct.
And gnocchi is like a dumpling.
Potato dumpling.
Potato
dumpling.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is my signature dish. My gnocchi. My
okay.
gnocchi is my signature dish. Yes.
The one the pesto one.
Pesto I did on TikTok.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking you. Please,
that one I did on TikTok.
But by the way, just go watch it, and we'll talk about this after this. Go watch it. How do you make all this stuff?
Yeah.
And it's for free, right?
Yes.
It's for free. Just go and watch it. How do you make it? Brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's like a dumpling.
Right.
Let's talk about your dessert because I know I've eaten your tiramisu, and it's the other one. What is that?
I have a few. I have panna cotta.
That's the one. That's the one.
Cannoli.
The panna cotta it's brilliant.
Melt in the mouth.
That one is brilliant, right? So that one you used to sell it at home, the tiramisu, right?
Tiramisu, and then I expanded a little bit to the panna cotta as well. So those are my desserts that are very basic. But the technique and the skill needs to be on point for you to make it correctly, because again, tiramisu lots of people make, but unfortunately they make it wrong. They make it with cream.
Okay.
Cream is not supposed to be in tiramisu.
No?
You're supposed to make it with the egg yolk, mascarpone, and the egg white. You make it into a meringue, and then you make it into a mousse. Okay. That is the real way.
Brilliant. Now, we talk about all this food. Because of all this, I'm going again back to Cucina soon because it's brilliant. Listen, guys, if you haven't been to Cucina, go and reserve a place first because it's very packed. Even if you try to reserve, sometimes you can't get a place. So go to Cucina. It's brilliant, right? Now let's talk a little bit about this, the TikTok, the YouTube, and stuff like that,
right?
Because it has taken off, right?
It's gone to another beyond. It's gone so far.
Because I recently, just chanced upon it and I was watching it, and it was so good because it was informational, right? Educational,
yes, correct.
And I was watching about the gnocchi, the pesto gnocchi, as well as the aglio.
Yeah, the aglio.
Oh,
that one is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was it's damn good, man.
2.1 million views on the aglio video.
There you go. Right. So what made you start off with this? Because you didn't do any marketing and stuff like that. So what made you?
I didn't. Obviously, we had Facebook and IG for over the past few years now.
Yeah.
I can't say that you can't quantify what Facebook and IG brings. Not as much.
Okay.
So my marketing guy came to me and said, "Hey chef, do you want to start your TikTok?" And I was like, "I've been thinking about it. Have no time to do it. Who's going to do all the editing and all the rest of it?" He said, "No, I'll take care of everything. Let's just do videos." I said, "Okay, if we're going to do videos, then I want to do educational because I want to teach. I want to show how you can cook at home, doing simple Italian food with just a few ingredients, and you can do it at home." So I said, that's what I want to do. So I started the first one with the most basic, which is aglio olio. But the thing is with Italian food is, the more basic it is, you need to get the right technique. That is, you must get on point. Otherwise, aglio olio, I'm sure you've had it at other places, very bland.
Can
Can be very dry.
Yeah.
Because because they're not making it correctly.
Right.
So, and I've seen and I've tasted in other places, and most of the time is cannot.
No, you spoke about these details and stuff, which is very important, because I just recently watched the Loki pesto one, right? And you were saying something like when you had the sauce ready, you don't heat it up on the pan.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't heat it up, right?
Yeah,
so those are the little things that just go and watch the videos. It's you pick up stuff.
You can just
know.
put it into a bowl, in fact, the pesto, and then just the residual heat from the pasta with a little bit of that water.
Right.
You just mix it in. That's it. That's all you need to do with pesto.
Brilliant. Now, looking back, right? I mean, let's take away COVID, because COVID is a pain, or was a pain, or is a pain for everyone, every business and whatever, right?
Yes.
What has been the biggest challenge for Kuchina? Biggest?
Going through COVID, you mean?
No, taking away COVID, apart from COVID.
Okay. One of my main headaches was the staff.
Okay.
I went through a lot of stuff over the first 4 years. Yes, that one was quite a headache, getting the right team. Many times they couldn't come up to my standard.
Yep.
I was very stressed because I really couldn't live my life because I couldn't go on holiday. I hardly took any off.
Okay.
The first 6 months I had no off day starting the business.
Okay.
Because the moment I left, the standard dropped. And I would get feedback from the customers. They would message me, they would PM me.
So you have to be there all the time?
Yes. So that one was, I really had no life. It was just purely restaurant. Then neglecting family, my wife. Very, very understanding of what I had to go through. So that one was difficult. I would say that one was one of the hardest.
How about now? Is it better now?
Now better.
Can you go off for holiday?
Now better. I have a very strong team now.
Brilliant.
I have a good chef, sous chef, very strong. They're very skilled in Italian food as well.
Brilliant.
Presentation, on par, sometimes even better than me. They really take new techniques and they really bring it to the next level.
Nice.
Same for the service staff as well. Much better restaurant manager. So I can take a bit more of a back seat now and drive more of the business and not having to be there 24/7.
You talk about the staff and then the difficulties of getting the correct staff, obviously, with the standards and stuff like that. Now let's talk a little bit about the customers.
Okay.
Because I saw the video, one of the videos that you put out, and you say there are, what's the word? Unreasonable customers, should I say? Can I say that?
Can be.
Unreasonable customers who put out just, when you go out and you do a rating and you just put out a 1 star.
Right.
Because maybe your food came 5 minutes late, for example. I'm just taking out from my head, right? Do you think customers in Singapore are unreasonable?
On the 90% majority, I would say no. They're not unreasonable.
Okay.
Being a halal restaurant, we also have a lot of Muslim.
Yep.
So they are very obliging.
Okay.
They understand good food, and they enjoy.
Yeah.
And they come for the reason to enjoy the food and not to come to be so picky about everything.
Right.
Yes, restaurants make mistakes. We do make mistakes.
Yeah.
Definitely there will be hiccups. We try our best not to have that, obviously. But occasionally they will happen. A staff made a mistake, something happened in the kitchen, so forth. But nowadays, what's the word? I can say entitled. They want everything perfect.
Yeah.
Their expectations are higher.
Right.
They demand on perfection every single time. And yes, I do. But when you are doing 200 packs a day, that is no easy feat.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. You're doing a lot of food to get through. And sometimes, yes, things happen. It's a very small percentage, I would say. But nowadays, you would get a 1 star for a small little thing. Like, for example, we charge for water, for example. We charge for water, why? Because I bought a water filter system from Italy, and I give you a choice of sparkling, still, and cold water, filtered.
Right.
Okay, it's not normal.
Right.
It's not tap water. I'm giving you filter water,
Right.
and I charge you 50 cents.
Yep.
If you buy if I sell you San Pellegrino, I have to charge you $7. I charge you a bottle at $1.50.
Right.
Which one you want? You need to. So I would have to explain. I need to do a pamphlet and put on the table, explaining you. I'm charging you $1.50 for a bottle of water because of this.
Right.
Some people are still not happy.
Okay.
Why are you charging me for water? If we want to start to go into overheads of running a restaurant, I can go into.
Right.
There's a lot of costs
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
It's not only about the water. Okay. They can't get a table. For example, they come
Okay.
to the restaurant, they can't get a table.
As in your walk-ins.
Walk-ins.
Right.
I get a 1 star. I get a 1 star because of that.
You get a 1 star for not even
You haven't
they're
dined.
not even they're not even inside eating and stuff, right?
Correct.
Okay,
So
understand.
we
Yeah.
have to communicate very clearly nowadays.
Yeah.
We have to be very specific,
Right.
down to the details of everything that we do, to not have that negativity. Obviously, I don't want that. That's why I did the video the other day regarding that.
Right.
It's not something that I want. It's not something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there any complaints about that video? No, right?
There was
Really?
quite a bit. Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
lot of feedback from those. There was quite a lot of feedback from
Okay.
there. Majority again, they understand.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, Singaporeans sometimes can be,
Yeah.
can be ridiculous. But it's a small percentage.
Right.
I'm just highlighting it. It's,
Okay.
it's not everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chef Gero, we've come to a time where we do a quick fire question thingy,
Okay,
right?
okay.
And so you just shoot your answer. No, it's pretty easy for you, for an Italiano, right? It's very easy. First question, right? Your favorite non-Italian food?
Probably chicken rice.
So typical, right?
Yeah, but you find a good chicken rice, it's good.
but it's so okay. Maybe I'm just being some chicken rice like the best, like so easy,
Right.
And when you get it right, you get it right.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I always say, whatever you do the best that you possibly can.
Right.
And you will have a queue.
Okay.
You see?
Yep, you're right. Next question: pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
Okay. Gnocchi or risotto?
Gnocchi.
Your pet peeve in a customer? Maybe just one.
Pet peeve in a customer. Being too fussy.
Being too fussy. All right. Your biggest disappointment so far till now? It need not be a Kuchina thing. It could be, before. I don't know.
People can let you down.
Okay. From experience, right?
Yep.
Your biggest success so far?
Maybe cooking for the president.
The recent one, and NDP or no before?
Before.
Which president? As in now, the present.
Halimari Yaakob. Cooking for her, going to Istana.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was probably one of my top.
Beautiful. Superpower that you would like to have?
Superpower. Reading people's brains.
Especially customers, right? And staff, maybe.
Stuff.
Now, 3 things you can't do without.
3 things I can't do without. Pasta. My family.
Okay.
Last one. What would be the last one? I can't do without. My cars.
How many do you have?
No, I have one. But
You say your cars.
No, I just love Ferrari and I just, everything.
Okay. Right. You love your pasta.
Yes.
As in pasta, right? You're a pasta person, right?
I'm a pasta person. Yes.
I just love the simple aglio.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
all.
Me
That's all
too.
I need, man.
Yeah,
That's the best.
Correct.
3 words to describe yourself. Just 3 words if you have any.
Passionate.
Yeah.
Very driven.
Okay.
And very forgiving.
Forgiving.
Forgiving, yeah.
Right. Nice. Now, this is the last question, and you got to lie if you have to, right? Your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast. Definitely you.
Thank you
but
so much.
I did listen to the guy in the UK.
Which one?
Nowadays. The guy on Dragon's Den. I forget his name now. I've been listening to him.
What is it about?
It's more on business.
Right.
Yeah, I've been listening to that more on business aspects,
Okay.
communications, that kind
Nice.
of things. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, where does Chef Gero, now this is not the quick fire round, you
Okay.
think about it and relax,
Okay.
Where does Chef Gero and Cucina go from here? Maybe 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line?
We are definitely expanding.
Okay.
Looking into 2023. We've actually done a full franchise project already.
Okay.
So we intend to go overseas, Indonesia, Middle East, probably Malaysia. We have people interested. We have some investors. And Singapore as well, we do have plans.
Okay.
I don't want to just stick only to Kucina. I will keep Kucina as, I would say, the top restaurant. And then I want to do sub-brands from there.
Right.
Looking into maybe deli, bakeries,
Right.
maybe a little bit more casual Italian, a little bit more lower price point for people.
Nice.
So we have a few different things that we want to do.
Right.
Obviously now we still have the catering as well.
Right.
Now after COVID, now catering has started back again.
Yeah.
So we can start to focus there a little bit. But I want Cucina to be what we consider world of Cucina, where we have a little bit of everything.
Nice.
For halal. So, the Italian deli, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
An Italian bakery.
Right.
A little bit lower end, casual Italian dining. And then Cucina can go a little bit more higher to semi-fine, if we have that one. So there's a few things that we want to do.
No, you said at first your objective was to get the authentic
Right.
Italian bit and
Yes.
make it halal in
Yes.
Singapore, right?
Yes.
Have you achieved that?
I would say yes.
Brilliant.
I've achieved that.
Brilliant. Now, lastly, before we go, Chef, what advice would you give to someone like me who has a dream of opening a cafe, maybe a restaurant or whatever? It can be anything, right? A sarabat stall or whatever.
Yes.
Well, what advice would you give to these people?
Once you start something like that, it's non-stop. You can never close one eye. It's your business. It's 24/7. It envelops you.
Yeah.
Because you can never leave it. Depending on what kind of restaurant it is, of course it takes more time and effort going into it. If it's lesser, more like a cafe, not so much stress, you're not squeezed for revenues all the time and all that kind of thing, lower rent, then you don't have so much stress. But opening a fully fledged restaurant with full staff, full overheads, you're always thinking of the next thing, what to do now. What else can I do now? What is the next part?
Right.
So, for me, naturally, I'm currently the only Italian halal, meaning that I'm the owner Italian of any other Italian restaurant currently in Singapore. So, naturally, people look to me to lead.
Right.
So that's why I always need to always keep one step ahead of the competition.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I do. But not easy to start a restaurant business. It's really people think I just put money inside and it will just go. But unfortunately in Singapore, we know the statistics, it's very high.
Yeah.
The amount of closures every year is really very high. So it's not easy.
Any final words, and tell us where, for those of you who've been living under a rock for the past couple of years, right, where we can find Cucina.
Cucina is at Kinex Mall, basement 1, next to Hague Road Market.
Yeah.
So that's where we've always been. Only been there. Don't get confused with any others. We've always been there. People also say, "Oh, you were at this mall." I say, "No, only Kinex Mall, basement 1.
Yep.
That's where you'll find us."
Right.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
It just came to my mind, Chef. What happened to the chicken thingy?
Oh, the chicken polo diavola.
Yes, the whole chicken, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that, man?
I decided. I know lots of people like it.
I love it.
I know. I removed it because with my new chef,
Right.
he's a little bit more onto the fine dining part.
Okay.
So when we revamped the menu, which
Okay.
we did at the beginning of this year, we decided to make the menu slightly smaller and to be able to concentrate on specials as well.
Okay.
So if you notice that we always do specials on the weekends,
Right.
on desserts as well as main courses.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have the menu a little bit more manageable, a little bit smaller, a little bit easier.
Yeah. Because
Get
we
the
had to
flow.
wait a little bit.
Yes,
For the
the
chicken.
waiting time was quite a while
True.
because we cooked it from fresh. So cooking a whole chicken, 25 minutes, half an hour.
Yep.
So that's the reason why I decided to change the.
I was just, I just thought about it. I'm a chicken person. By the
Okay,
way.
okay.
Chef Gero, thank you so much for being on the Silverfox Hustle podcast.
My pleasure.
This has been wonderful. From learning about where you came from, the culture, and of course the lessons learned. That's very important.
Yes.
Of opening or starting a business,
Right.
and of course the Italian dishes and stuff like that. So it's been an eye opener. So good luck for your future.
Thank you so much.
and-
I appreciate. I love being on the show. Hopefully, people can learn
Yes, please.
something.
Yes,
That's
yes.
all. That's
Great.
all I'm all about. Really, I'm more to let people learn.
Yeah. I will see you soon in the restaurant.
All right,
I'm,
cool.
I'm just waiting for some Italian food.
Okay.
Thank
cool.
you so much.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, this has been episode number 75 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. Now, if you've been listening, if you're watching, please click on the subscribe and follow button at the end, and leave a review as well. I want to hear from you. Right, till the next episode, the Silverfox Hustle podcast. The hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Arrivederci. Ciao.
Ciao.